In today's match, we have another no XL, no legendary team, Swampert Double Fairy in the form of Sylveon and Granbull. We're met with a horrible lead, Cresselia on the front, which is why we have to safe switch into our surprise showstopper, Sylveon, sporting that fast move of Quick Attack. Why is it better to run Quick Attack in this current meta? People don't expect a fairy running a fast move that's not Charm. So they won't be able to initially know the counts. They might get stunned a bit, which will give you an advantage. As we can see here, we already reach another Psy Shock and grab the first shield on opponent. We already grab shield advantage because of the quick attack Psy Shock combo. Over there. Drain out Switch Clock, opponent quickly shifts out to Surfetched, which is being torn to shreds by our second fairy in the back, Granbull. Now Granbull runs Charm as the fast move so that we could melt away Pokemon in the back like Surfetched in this way. Opponent will come back with the Cresselia. We will have to shield this up because Granbull is not the tankiest. Not in the Great League, not in the Ultra League. Reach the crunch. Of course, we expect opposing Cresselia to shield this up. Now it gets precarious because we don't have any shields anymore. Cresselia typically only runs nuke moves. Moonblast will bring us deep into the red. And we won't be able to reach a crunch in time. I hoped to farm down, but I got nervous. I wasn't taking note if opposing Talonflame had a charge move ready after that last Incinerate. At this point, I thought it was lights out. Typically, a Pokemon trainer would top left here, but surprise, surprise, opposing Cresselia was running double nuke of Future Sight and Moonblast, which allows us to reach the back-to-back Hydro Cannon. Swampert clutches out the win, snatches a victory from the jaws of defeat. GG to our opponent. Next match, we run into a Kobalian. We have another legendary lead for our triple non-legendary team. We farm up. Opponent decides to fire the first charge move. This is just a Sacred Sword. Will deal some chip damage. Opponent gets nervous and shifts out to a Waterfall Gyarados. And we have an interesting answer with Quick Attack, Sylveon. We know that this is just a Aqua Tail because the other move on Gyarados is Crunch, which is resisted, and it is not likely that opponent will throw a Crunch. We reach the Moonblast, bring the Gyarados deep into the red. Here we have to make a decision. Do we fight for Switch? Yes, we do. Aqua Tail will get shielded. Can we farm down? Yes, we can. We leave that match up with a lot of energy. Here I decide to blind throw the Moonblast, but unfortunately opponent comes into the battle with a Chandelure. That Moonblast would have been resisted, but fortunately for us, Chandelure decides to shield up. We throw one Mud Shot so that we could throw the charge move on perfect timing. Hydro Cannon will grab the final shield. We throw this Hydro Cannon. This will be more than enough to knock out opposing Chandelure. Bam. Granbull comes back into the game. Kobalian does not want to face the fairy Pokemon. GG. Into the next match, we have a Swampert led into the mirror. Because we're running an ABB style team, we have to bail out. I tried to catch on the Sylveon. In hindsight, that actually sounds like a silly idea. In any case, we do leave that early game with our Swampert loaded with a Hydro Cannon, prepared for whatever's in the back. Pay attention to this, guys. So we're running Quick Attack, which is dealing neutral damage against a Charizard which doesn't have too good defenses, even in this format. Charizard does not shield the first Psyshock, which means it almost brought it to the yellow. With additional quick attacks, bringing it to the yellow, we grab a shield. And it seems like Charizard is trying to go for the hard farm down. It felt like it was not enough for a Blast Burn, or Charizard was just trying to bait. We call it successfully. That was a mistake on the part of opponent because we survived the Dragon Claw. Just in time to reach the Psyshock, which knocks out opposing Charizard. And what does opponent do? Surrender. GG to our opponent. Into the next match, we have Swampert into an Escavalier. Escavalier, though sports a fighting fast move, isn't exactly a Pokemon my backline would like to see, which is why Swampert is forced to stay in the front. We will have to expend shields for Swampert. We need to get rid of this Escavalier. Fortunately for us, they don't shield the first Hydro Cannon. This could be a Drillon, this could be a Mega Horn. We have to shield this. It was a Mega Horn, fantastic. Opponent tries to make a catch into their Dragonite, and we have the perfect response in the back in the form of Granbull just shredding through this Dragonite. Nothing this Dragonite throws will threaten. Hurricane would, but that Dragon Breath damage wasn't enough to build up enough energy for Hurricane. And we just melt away that Dragonite and win switch. With an ABB style team, normally you would like to win shield advantage. But whatever advantage you may have, we'll just take it. Crunch will get shielded by opposing Escavalier. Can we complete the farm down? Unfortunately, we cannot. We have to make a decision. Do we let this Granbull go? We do. Mega Horn will knock us out, even though it's not very effective. We're draining the Switch Clock a bit. In the back is a Shadow Snorlax. And this is GG. Hydro Cannon will deal a lot of damage. Bam. Let's fire another one. Hydro Cannon will hurt opposing Snorlax, which is why opposing Snorlax expends the final shield. Will we reach the Hydro Cannon before a Body Slam? Yes, we will. This Hydro Cannon will hurt. And bang! Deep into the red. We switch out to our Sylveon sporting Quick Attack. It's actually lights out already. Opponent just wants to go out swinging. We decided to be cautious because this might be that one Snorlax running Hyper Beam. Body Slam will bring us to the yellow, but that's okay. At this point, the game has already been over, has been decided. We go for that disrespectful Moonblast. Absolutely not taking anything to chance. GG to our opponent. Into the next match, we have our Swampert into a Jellicent. This is the game where we make a ton of mistakes. This is just horrible. Excuse me. We're including this game here as an instructional video on what not to do. Earthquake grabs the first shield. Of course, that's not what we wanted to happen. We would have wanted to knock it out. I mean, deal damage rather, because here's the first mistake. I switch out to our Sylveon. This was just a zero intelligence move because quick attack doesn't do anything to a ghost type. And then we let the Shadow Ball go. Here's mistake number 2. I should have just gone straight for the Moonblast. Because when you're up shields, you always go for the nuke move. Although, on second thought, even though Gliscor is in the shadow form, a Moonblast might not have been able to one-hit KO. So here we are in mid-game, rectifying our early game mistakes. Throw this Moonblast and knock out opposing Gliscor. We have a 2-shield advantage and a Pokemon advantage. Jellicent farms down. We come back into the game with our Granbull. How can we mess this up, right? First of all, before my mistakes, trainer actually makes the correct calls. Surf Bait grabs the first shield. Here, Jellicent fires off a second Surf Bait and grabs her shield. At this point, Jellicent fires what would be a Shadow Ball. Oh, just another Surf rather. And shifts out into their Shadow Machamp. Here's the final mistake of the game. I panic and tap on Crunch. That was not necessary because I could have just gone for another Charm, which would have brought this Shadow Machamp really just within 1 mud shot range. Cross Chop will bring us down to the red, and we just can't output enough damage to grab a shield and knock out opposing Machamp. That was unfortunate because the Jellicent was already also in the red. GG to our opponent. Also well played for our opponent. Kudos to him. Into the next match. What do we have? Guys, we intended this to be a double fairy showcase, but we end up with Sylveon just stealing the show. Into the final match, we have Toxicroak. This is a good lead for Swampert because Toxicroak can spark poison. Opponent shifts out to an Alolan Ninetales. I believe that Toxicroak lead was in the XL form, and this Alolan Ninetales is also XL. We land that Hydro Cannon before switching out to our Sylveon. Again, non-XL. Dazzling Gleam will deal a significant amount of damage. We quick attack. That was a mistake on our part. We should have thrown the Psyshock faster and earlier. Weather Ball grabs the shield on our part. We farm, fire off the Psyshock. This will either knock out opposing Alolan Ninetales or grab a shield. Opponent shields up. Probably fear the Moonblast. Nice to know, Sylveon actually wins CMP. Psyshock will be taking out this Ninetales, which is why Ninetales opts for shield. We have to make a decision. Decision is made. Sylveon will go down swinging, taking shield advantage over switch. We come back into the game with our Granbull. And do we farm down before charge move? No, we do not. We have to expend the final shield. Even though this is a weather ball, it would have hurt our fragile Granbull. Who will Granbull face? Will it be the Toxicroak again? Yes, Toxicroak enters the field. and is immediately replaced by a Jellicent. We try to throw on perfect timing, but we fail over there and allow a free hex in. Earthquake will bring the Jellicent deep into the yellow. This is what's bewildering with opposing Jellicent. Jellicent did not throw a charge move. That should have been Shadow Ball range. Instead, just lets itself go down swinging. We reach the Hydro Cannon, but lose CMP. I thought this was lights out because this Mud Bomb will KO, right? No, it did not, because opposing trainer decided to undercharge that Mud Bomb, thinking he would have an opportunity to farm up, to have some energy loaded for that Sludge Bomb once our Granbull enters the field. Do we reach? Yes, we do. We reach the knockout before opponent gets to the charge move. And there you have it.